Hello! Welcome to this introductory tape about the Zone. For safety purposes, I cannot disclose my identity or location with you. Let's just say, you could call me Micah, but rest assured that I am to be trusted. If you're listening to this tape, there are good chances that you're looking at entering the Zone yourself. Well, fear not, future rookie, because we've been contracted to offer you this informational tape that should help you make it through the exclusion zone. After all, the survival rate for S.T.A.L.K.E.R this year was at an all-time high, 20%. We hope we can contribute to getting it just a little bit higher. Today, we'll be going over basic information about the Zone, survival tips, and most importantly, the amazing factions of the Zone. Without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is the Zone? Well, be patient, I'm getting there. Since 1986, an unforeseeable explosion has defined this 30-kilometer wide area around Chernobyl, now known as the Zone. Wow, that sounds pretty bad, doesn't it? Well, it gets worse. The second incident in 2006 led to an extension in the Zone, since everything good has a sequel. The second incident made the Zone larger by another 30 kilometers and deadlier and mostly cooler. But why cooler, you may ask? Well, because of the second incident, things you call artifacts began to form. These beautiful little rocks are things that bring people to the Zone. Since science hasn't fully explained them yet, researchers outside the Zone are willing to pay a large sum of money for you to transfer these delicious, beautiful artifacts from your pockets into theirs. And honestly, that's all you need to know. You might think that sounds too easy, don't you? There may be some anomalies from time to time, but nothing to worry about. It's just some weird stuff happening, mostly harmless. But in order to get into the Zone, you'll need to cooperate with the military, but we'll get into that later. Over the past decades, the Zone has been abandoned, providing great opportunities for derelict and desolate sites and roadside picnics. In addition to your fellow stalkers, the Zone is also home to creatures that have undergone inconceivably high dose of radiation and have mutated. These fellas range from dogs to humanoid creatures that could fry your brain and make you shoot your own teammates. What a bummer! To add in the list of unnatural things the Zone can cause something called emissions. They are identifiable when the sky turns red. You shouldn't be outside when it happens, it will cause burns. Now we'll move on to some basic survival tips that will hopefully help you survive this daunting environment. Getting past the checkpoint. Upon entering the Zone, you must go through the military checkpoint. Having the right papers and putting away any weapons you have on you should do the trick. Monetary transactions make this pretty easy. The soldiers live in pretty bad conditions, so most of them do appreciate hospitality, mostly in the kind where you give them money. Finding a weapon. Once inside, we recommend you find a weapon. You could easily find a pipe or rebar somewhere in the village north of the checkpoint. You should also prioritize finding a firearm, as these are widely more effective against mutants and at times fellow stalkers. When you're fully equipped, you go explore the Zone with confidence. Find a gas mask. Once you're ready to move out, you want to find yourself a gas mask, preferably a working one, as radiation can cause infertility and sometimes cancer. Make sure you have filters for them. Find artifacts. Now, time to make some money. Get your hands on some hardy eco-detectors and go out artifact hunting. Turn it on and just start foraging around. You'll probably find a cool radioactive rock somewhere. Buy equipment economy. If you find the right people, they could sell you everything you want for the right price. Because why go and risk your own life when you can buy stuff from stalkers that have bigger balls than you? Avoid anomalies. When you're out looking for artifacts, make sure you stay away from anomalies, as they tend to hurt. You can identify these by throwing an object at something that looks out of place, like a pocket of electricity or heat. If a burst of flames come out, then you know you're setting foot in an anomalous area. Avoid monolith. You may have noticed in your adventures, some mean guys are in urban camo. Just stay away from those guys, they probably aren't friendly. Don't try to interact with them at all. Find a safe house. By now, you should be decently accustomed to the Zone and its environment. Find a place to call home, secure it, and start enjoying the sedentary lifestyle. Kill the fast ones first. Most mutants are pretty slow and stupid, but once in a while, the one decides to sprint at you full speed. Do your best to kill that one guy first. We don't want anything bad happening to you, do we? Good heavens, you don't want to be that guy. As you might have realized now, in the Zone, you'll encounter various groups with different belief systems and goals. Since they hold most of the wealth, it is very wise to build a strong relation with them to get access to very nice items. Here's a brief list of these factions. The military. Wise to avoid, as they like following Cuban traditions of being extremely corrupt. Any interaction with them can end in your execution out of spite of wanting to go back home. Duty. Extremely organized and well-equipped faction. They despise the zone, mutants, and freedom. Neutral to loners, and can trade you for mutant parts and jewelry. Freedom. If you find artifacts, freedom is your go-to, as you can sell artifacts to them for a nice amount. These joint-wielding folks like the zone within the bottom of their heart and hate duty within the bottom of their hearts. Bandits. These fellas love your belongings and will take them. Try not to interact with them too much unless you have something they really want, as they tend to rob you any chance they get. Ecologist. Are you a fucking nerd? Then get buddy-buddy with these folks. They tend to have really nice medical items and access to a cure to the mutation infection. They are nicely advanced, but tend to hire free stalkers and mercenaries to defend themselves. Mercenaries. Is money the primary motivator in your life? Is the word morals something entirely alien to you? Then joining mercenaries is the best thing to do. Mercs usually hire outside the zone, so I recommend you don't interact with them too much, as they can get angry if you interrupt their contracts. They can sometimes trade you nice western weaponry and buy certain items. Monolith. Unless your brain is completely fried, we recommend you do not interact with these guys. As said earlier, they will not think before shooting you, as they don't think at all. These fellows worship the zone for reasons that are completely unknown to us. This concludes our informational tape on the exclusion zone. We hope that this information will be useful in your future endeavors. Now, get out there and start making the money you always knew you deserved. Become a legend, attain unmatched glory, and probably die a horrific death. So, what are you waiting for? Get out there now, Stalker. Any national government or prime minister is and people behind it are responsible for what happens to the review. This includes death by radiation costs, death by radiation disease, death by sleep death by supernatural laws, death by falling or fracture, death by severe burns, death by gunshot, death by shrapnel, death by stab wounds, death by struggle, death by other lesions, burn injury related to chemicals, burn injury related to radiation, burn injury related to heat, fracture injury, gushing injury related to shrapnel related injury, explosion related injury, injuries related to one shot, injuries related to stab wounds, injuries related to animals, and other causes that may lead to harm anyone within the exclusion zone as related to the state. This table is promoting and introducing exclusion zone. Items of alcohol solution on your behalf. It should be noted that every person in the state is aware of the consequences of unauthorized entry into the exclusion zone can lead to death by local or law enforcement forces. It's therefore not responsible for what people do in knowledge and injury to the state. She also said that every crime caused in this zone is not related to us but are under responsibility of whoever